Hi everybody, welcome to Makeup University. I'm Sherilyn. Thank you for joining me today. We are having a bit of a book club today. Thank you so much to Harrison House and author Rick Renner for sending me a sample copy of this book, Last Day's Survival Guide. Oh wow, this is a guide. This is a manual, a bit of how-to resource. I received this, I read it, I really enjoyed it. I'm going back through it. So first things first, down below in the description, I will have a link so you can get a copy for yourself. There is resource available through Rick Renner and his ministries, and if you ever buy a book, this is a good one to start with, but he also has another Greek word study manual or guide called Sparkling Gems. A century ago, I had that book. I used that book, so underlined and dog-eared, and I had a dear friend who was just going through a really hard time in life, and I gave her my copy, and I always meant to buy another, and I haven't yet, so I'm putting it on my to-do list this week. Right now, I want to get started into Last Day's Survival Guide. So I'm thinking we might just track along with this and do a few videos, because in here, as you can see, I've already been underlining and highlighting, and I have always felt like my Bible, oh look, another sticky note, like something I was studying. I've always felt like this text is living, a breathing, just word. Like it might as well pull up a chair, have a snack and a pop, because it's so alive to me. I've already read that book, and it's a great companion to this, but even if you're not a word reader, there's just tools, strategies, and manuals in this. And so I'm going to start in the first chapter, and it's called Tag We're It. And the author Rick Renner, who his primary ministry is in Russia, and I have a close friend who's Russian, and I'm enjoying learning to speak more Russian as I'm around her, because I know that to hear that mother tongue is just love and comfort to her. So it's interesting as I've been looking more at the videos online, and I never hear Rick Renner speak Russian. I'm like, well, what's your Russian sound like? Mine doesn't sound very good yet. So back to the book, it says Tag We're It, and this is, I don't want to spoil it for you because I'd really love for you to get the book and read it for yourself. But he does a beautiful analogy in the children's game, which could be any. If you've ever seen the movie Tag, came out a few years back. It's kind of a fun comedy about some children, young boys who had a game of tag that they played for over 20 years. Even as adults, they would play this game. And that film was based on a true story. In the book, The Last Day's Survival Guide, the first chapter, Tag You're It, Rick Renner is talking about how in the game, if you don't know, you need at least 2 people to play. One person is it, and you try to outrun the person who's it so you don't get tagged. But eventually everybody gets tagged, and that's the fun of it. So what he's saying in this is, he says, and I quote directly from the book, "Friend, God has tagged you and me to live in this time. So if you're struggling with, why am I here? What's this all about, Alfie? Why life, things are definitely different than they've ever been before." And my favorite thing about this season is I love when I was doing UPW virtual, Unleash the Power Within virtual with Tony Robbins. In that training, he had such a powerful mindset shift to say, COVID is not happening to me, it's happening for me. Let that sink in. Yes, it's been uncomfortable. Me personally, my personal experience, it has been uncomfortable. Though I cannot remember the last time I have had so much free time, uninterrupted free time. I have written another feature, Modern Mother Mary, and she's getting ready for production, and the SBK gang, and On Assignment miniseries. So I finished one feature script, one web series and one mini series. Boom, chicka, boom. COVID is happening for me. So when we think about that, and we think about the mindset shift of God has tagged you and me to live in this time, because that also is a scripture for such a time as this. You were born for such a time as this. So there's a couple of highlights. You're here in this time, so no accidents or coincidence. You're definitely needed here for this time to shine as lights in a world growing ever darker. Even if it means you were just giving a kind word to your neighbor, or you're kind and gentle with the person who's working at the grocery store. You don't know if they have fear about the virus, but yet they still have to go to work. And, it's hard on them emotionally being at work, but they have to be there. And so when you react as a light, it's a bright light. It's a good thing. Build a hedge of protection around our families. Oh, this is so important. There is so much exposure right now about child trafficking, human trafficking. I feel two things. I feel horrified, but at the same time, I feel like I am so grateful this light is being exposed on this darkness so brightly right now, because if it didn't have the light on it, it would keep going on and on and on. And with all of this exposure and seeing it in the media, in social media, it means there's a stop coming to it, and it's coming quickly. And I'm bunny trailing, but as I pull together the thought that maybe this is happening for you, maybe you are here for such a time as this, for right now, you're needed. When the church, let's put it in air quotes, the church was thinking about, they want revival, it's possible they were wanting it in their four walls, and for it to be on a 40-minute sermon timeline, and that there was plenty of parking, and if you couldn't find a spot, there's maybe, I'm just thinking, and this book will help you with that, this guide, that it's possible, preparing for the end times. I'm getting to this next very key phrase from the Last Days Survival Guide. All this time, the traditional church has been asking, praying, believing for revival, and it's here. It just doesn't look like what I suspect the church expected it to look like. Like if you were at In-N-Out Burger and you ordered your double with chopped chilies, you know what you're wanting, but what if it came unassembled and you had all the ingredients just in your little red tray and you had to put the burger together? Mindset shift. Okay. Also, teach our children and grandchildren the Word of God, so that while they live in this world, they will not be of this world. This is really important, that, believer or not, whatever you are consuming on television, tablets, cell phones, airwaves, whatever you're consuming is consuming you at the same time. It's important that you guard eye gates and ear gates, your heart gate, that what you consume. Bing! Okay. Oh, I saw this is getting long. I just wanted these to be like little 5-minute videos. It's almost 10. Okay, I'm going to hurry. God has tagged you and me to live in this time, and since He has chosen us for this late round of the game, we can be assured that He has also supplied us with everything we need to live in this season victoriously. That is this. Let me hold it up. Right here, you will see some bullet points. Oh, sorry about the lighting. My apologies. You will see some bullet points and then some bold text. And then, I guess, in this first chapter, tag were it. My next big takeaway that I just wanted to share was that on page 9, it's the last of the last days. I'm gonna end on that. This is a really powerful mindset shift. This is the last of the last days. That is encouraging. I have found personally, and even in my circle of friends and influence in my life here in Burbank, and even friends still in Arizona and Texas, our biggest challenge is not being able to see the end and having the goalposts constantly moved, like a total Charlie Brown. Do you remember how in Charlie Brown cartoons, Lucy would be holding the football and then at the last minute she would move it away when Charlie kicked? Originally with COVID, March 13th, everything hit the fan for my family. Everything changed that day. It was the last normal day as we knew it. It was also Friday the 13th. Oh. And that day, everything changed. Nothing has been the same. I highly doubt anything will ever be the same or look like it did in my life prior to Friday, March 13th, 2020. And that is the line in the sand for me. And everything from that is a new way of doing things. And I just encourage you that you make a mindset shift, that you are ready to learn and to adapt and to be accepting of the way it is, and knowing that you can survive and you can grow and you can still contribute. I so enjoyed this book. The link will be below. This is a great training guide, survival guide. Whether you're a prepper person or not, I think it really is important that going forward that we adapt, like being in a new land. Like if you ever traveled and you went to Mexico or to Canada, people are there, but they're different. They speak a different language. They have different customs. They have different foods. So I felt like part of the power of the Last Day Survival Guide is realizing, yeah, we're really in a new day and we need to learn how to do this. And I remember back in March, all the pandemic, the COVID, everything's happening, the lockdown, the riots, the curfew. Oh, that was uncomfortable. All of this is happening, and I just remember being told, oh, we just need to flatten the curve. It's just going to be 2 weeks. No, 30 days. No, we need to do it again. Oh, there's riots. Everybody curfew in your house, 5 p.m. Don't go out. It's just the goal is always moving. And so I felt like this book and this book, these are ways to navigate, almost like watching the movie The Maze Runner. A little bit of Hunger Games in there. Wow, who knew those movies were so prophetic, right? That going forward in these days, the sooner you shift your mindset to be one who is going to run with the time and the season that we're in. If you want to sit and pout and just sit and wait, that is okay. There's no harm or foul. Just make sure that you are okay with the decision that you make. I am choosing to shift the mindset, to move, learn new strategy, and find new ways of doing things to be successful going forward. There's so much more to talk about. I saw the time. I want to keep it short. The Last Days Survival Guide is a really fun read. And this isn't something that you have to just devour all at one time. I read the whole thing, and now I'm going back and studying through the chapter. I think you'll really enjoy this book. I do. Okay, and I had another book right here that I was reading. It was really good, but this got long. Okay, you guys. So we're just doing a little bit of a shift here as we come to do Makeup University new as well. Okay, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here. We are still in the summer of something, whatever something is, and I look forward to sharing more with you about this book in the next video. Hey everybody, I'm Sherilyn. This is Makeup University, and remember, you look really gorgeous today.